You're watching ABC7 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Our top story this evening, I-75 is becoming more like a parking lot than an interstate, especially during rush hours.
Not only are there too many drivers for the 6-lane interstate to handle, the 80-mile stretch running through Manatee and Sarasota counties is also experiencing an average of 4 accidents each day. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick talked to officials from FDOT and Florida Highway Patrol about possible solutions to all the madness. She joins us live tonight from the interstate with what they had to say. Jess?
Jacqueline, Scott, take a look behind me. Traffic is actually running pretty smoothly tonight on I-75. That's unusual for this time of day. Every single year, FDOT says that they're seeing a higher volume of traffic compared to the year before here on I-75. According to Florida Highway Patrol, I-75 is so congested during morning and evening rush hours because there are so many drivers trying to enter and exit the interstate at the same time and at the same locations. Trooper Ken Watson says there are also a lot of people that slow down to check out construction that's happening, like right now on State Road 64. The good news is there are potential solutions that are in the works. FDOT says right now they're working on purchasing some of the land around the current Fruitville and Bee Ridge Road exits to hopefully in the future expand those areas of the highway. A $192 million construction project is in the works to rebuild the US 301 and 75 interchange and add auxiliary lanes. That project will start in 2020. Then a $150 million project is slated for State Road 70. FDOT plans to rebuild the exchanges there as well, along with adding auxiliary lanes. That will go into construction later this year, but for now, through this daily congestion, troopers are asking that you be patient and follow a few simple tips.
I want to remember that we want to keep our slower traffic to the right, and then traffic that is not going to be exiting, you want to go ahead and get into that left lane. Let those people get off and on the interstate freely without having to slow down or have to navigate merging through a lot of traffic.
Besides the construction projects that FDOT already has planned, they're working on a study that will start later this spring and look at what else they can do, what other roadways they can work on to make I-75 a little less congested and make your trips safer. I'll have much more on this story coming up at 6. For now, reporting live along I-75, Jess Dowdrick, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thanks, Jess. Well, the streets are getting busier every minute. Remember, you can check up-to-the-minute traffic updates right from your phone. All you have to do is download our app by searching WWSB or My Suncoast in the App Store.
Months after the death of Charles Manson, a judge finally makes a decision on who gets custody of his body. Manson's grandson, Jason Freeman, a former mixed martial arts fighter who lives in Bradenton, says he plans to cremate his grandfather's remains and hold a small family ceremony. Manson died 4 months ago at the age of 83 after spending nearly 50 years in prison for his part in a murder spree that left actress Sharon Tate and 6 others dead back in August of 1969.
Anytime my grandfather and I opened up and had a conversation about the case, he still to this day pleaded that he was denied his 6th and 8th Amendment rights, and he is not guilty of those murders. He said, yeah, he may have done some bad things in life, but he didn't deserve life.
No word yet on who will retain the rights to Manson's estate. Those could actually be worth millions. They include both music rights to songs Manson wrote as well as his personal memorabilia.
A Wisconsin man is behind bars after a massive investigation into the death of a Charlotte County resident. A 25-year-old man died after using a nasal spray bottle that he received in the mail that contained fentanyl. Deputies say he ordered the bottle online from a company in Wisconsin and was traced back to Michael Schoenman. Investigators later found 180 grams of powder fentanyl inside his home, as well as mailing labels and packages and hundreds of nasal spray containers. Schoenman faces up to 20 years in prison for fentanyl possession.
Manatee County Sheriff's deputies are looking for 3 people who robbed a convenience store. Deputies say 2 men and a woman walked into the Shell store on 20th Street East in Ellington Tuesday morning. The woman asked the clerk where the cigarettes were, while one of the men implied he had a gun. Deputies say the 2 men stole multiple cartons of cigarettes. The 3 then drove off. Anyone with information is asked to call the Sheriff's Office in Manatee County.
Thanks to a generous donation from Boar's Head, the Sarasota Police Department is welcoming a new canine to their team. Canine Bobby is a 2-year-old German Shepherd from Slovakia. She's a single-purpose bomb odor detection canine who is trained in finding explosive materials and devices. Boar's Head's donation includes modifications to a patrol car for the canine, training for a handler, and needed supplies. Bobby will be paired with Patrol Officer Adam Arena, who will be assigned to the night shift. Great addition to our team here on the Suncoast to protect us.
Welcome to the force.
Right.
Yeah. All right, let's get a check on our weather now. Chilly day, but sure was beautiful out there today, Bob.
Yeah, I'm liking the afternoons anyway. The mornings are a little bit on the cool side. It looks as though we'll see that continuing too over the upcoming days. Casey Key webcam, a little chilly out on the waters too with that north to northwest wind, and you can see the waves up there a little bit behind the front that moved through yesterday. Boy, those winds were strong yesterday too. Clearing skies out though, high pressure continuing to work its way in. Currently we have sunshine, 61 degrees. And the dew point temperature really low, 41, and winds out of the northwest at 15, making it feel cooler out there along the area beaches. And the barometer is on the rise. Northport, 41 to start things off tomorrow morning, 44 in Port Charlotte. There'll be a little wind too. It'll make it feel all that much colder to start things off. Lakewood Ranch, you should start right around 43 at 7 a.m. and then 47 in Bradenton. A little bit warmer right out on the waters, and Anna Maria at 51 degrees. Under clear skies, we're looking at generally fair skies. Current temps in the 60s everywhere with the exception of Miami now at 73. The day planner looks like this for tomorrow. Lots of sunshine, temperatures in the 40s though. And then we'll warm up again on mid-60s. Another dry cold front's expected to move through late tomorrow evening. Details on that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. A follow-up now to an investigation into a suspected cancer cluster at Bayshore High School. For the last 4 months, health officials have been collecting patient information forms for a health study after concerns of that cancer cluster arose from Bayshore High School alumni. The deadline to complete that form for the study is Friday, March 30th. Health officials say a final report will be returned 6 months later.
Happening tonight, the Manatee County School Board discussing some important issues going on in the school district, but the top concern of many is the dispute between board member Dave Miner and board chair Scott Hopes. This is the first time that these board members are getting together since an argument recently. Scott Hopes and Dave Miner had argued over an issue at a meeting 2 weeks ago. A complaint was filed with police after Hopes claims Miner tried to run him over. A workshop began at 3 p.m. today, and during that workshop, both Hopes and Miner seemed cordial. The meeting gets underway tonight at 5:45. It is not known yet if the dispute between Hopes and Miner will be addressed. We'll have more on this story coming up at 6.
Sarasota County school officials are talking about improving security, and some of the plans they're looking at could cost as much as $25 million. The board holding a digital town hall meeting last night, giving residents a chance to ask questions. The event was focused on both campus security, nearly 1 month after the worst school shooting in Florida history. School Superintendent Todd Bowden made it very clear the district will be taking any threat they see on social media very seriously.
We are going to read what you post on social media in the worst possible light. And so when you say something, I will tell you, we're going to take you at your word. So if you say you're going to do something on a school campus, and I'm going to say you're going to do something on one of our school campuses. There is no, I was joking, I was just kidding. If you say it, we're going to believe you. And I want to tell you, we're going to interpret it in the worst possible way because that's our obligation to our students.
The board also discussed the upcoming vote a week from today to extend the school property tax another 4 years.
And schools across the country are participating in a nationwide walkout tomorrow. Here on the Suncoast, students in both Manatee and Sarasota counties, including elementary, middle, and high schools, will all take part in those walkouts. Organized by students, teachers, and school administrators, the walkout will happen tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and last for 17 minutes. It's all in honor of the 17 students and staff who lost their lives at Stoneman Douglas High School 1 month ago tomorrow.
Nearly 368,000 current and former Florida virtual school students and about 2,000 teachers may have had their personal information stolen in a data breach. FLVS officials say the incident could involve some personal information, including students' names, dates of birth, school account usernames and passwords, as well as parents' names and emails. FLVS is offering 1 year of free identity protection services through Experian to those whose information was in the school's database between May 2nd, 2016 and February 12th of this year.
ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern joining us now. And Richard, I see you brought our favorite prop back to the desk.
Pepto-Bismol. You'd think I'd get used to this stuff. Not this, but what's going on Wall Street, but it just keeps happening all the time. So today, what else was new? A 429-point range, top to bottom. Yes, indeed, what we've done in the last 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, is give back roughly 50% of the 440 points that we gained last Friday, if you can remember all the way back. Well, the NASDAQ has been the strongest part of the market. Not so today. The NASDAQ lost its 7-day win streak. So no matter how you slice it, another volatile day on Wall Street. We were down 200 plus points at 3:30. We did rally going into the close. That's the positive side. Let's take a look at the closing figures. There you see the Dow down 171 points, almost 0.7%, above 25,000. Below at intraday, closing at 25,007.03 on volume of 904 million shares. The NASDAQ, as I say, has been very strong, but not today. Down 1%, 77 points at 7,511.01 on very heavy volume of 2,163,000,000 shares. And the S&P joined the party down 18 points, more than 0.6% at 2,765.31. Well, General Electric, that company that brings good things to life, has not brought good things to its shareholders, and it appears as though things are getting worse. GE, which has been the poorest performer of the Dow Jones Industrial Average last year, this year is down 17%, down another 4% today. Companies who follow General Electric say that the dividend, which was cut in November, runs the risk of being cut again. And in major news, senior management of General Electric has foregone bonuses for the first time in 126 years. So it gets to be pretty serious if they're looking at cutting a dividend for the second time in 6 months, and also if senior management is not getting bonuses. They're getting serious about it.
Yeah. Well, what's the news on Google today?
Well, Google has been nothing but fabulous, along with most of the FANG stocks. Today down about 2%. But I just thought I'd point that out because all those stocks have gone higher and higher and higher. Giving back a little bit is probably very healthy.
Okay. Richard, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, President Trump fires his Secretary of State. We'll let you know who's been nominated to take his place.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, fewer boys are playing football in high school. A new study suggests why it could be a public health risk.
The ABC7 Stock Report is sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
It's California Closet's Lighting and Accessories Sales Event. Save up to $1,000 now through April 30th. Call 1-800-CAL-CLOSETS for your free design consultation or visit us online at californiaclosets.com.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured in a car accident, the state of Florida only gives you a specific amount of time to file a claim. So act now, give us a call.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
It's time to take a road trip.
Alabama's got 100 road trips, and some of the best are music to your ears, like the Alabama Music Hall of Fame. Or head over to Muscle Shoals and Fame Studios. Are you a star yet?
My mama thinks so.
Or, if that's your stomach I hear grumbling, our barbecue is almost a religious experience. Food good here?
Best in the country.
Alabama's got 100 road trips.
Which one you gonna take?
Get all the local information you need before you leave home in the morning. Watch Good Morning Suncoast weekdays on ABC7 to get breaking news, plus first alert, weather, and traffic focused on where you live. ABC7, we're here for you.
It's California Closet's Lighting and Accessories Sales Event. Save up to $1,000 now through April 30th. Call 1-800-CAL-CLOSETS for your free design consultation or visit us online at californiaclosets.com.
More staff turnover in the Trump administration as the president fires his top diplomat. Rex Tillerson is out as Secretary of State, and CIA Director Mike Pompeo is nominated to replace him. President Trump chalking up this major shift in his cabinet to chemistry. Tillerson split with the president on several major issues, including the Iran nuclear deal, North Korea, climate, and trade. Pompeo has been a favorite of President Trump, personally briefing him multiple times a week.
We're always on the same wavelength. The relationship has been very good, and that's what I need as Secretary of State.
A senior White House official tells ABC News that Chief of Staff John Kelly spoke to Tillerson Friday and notified him he was being asked to step down. The White House says President Trump wanted to make sure he had his new team in place in advance of the upcoming talks with North Korea. President Trump is said to have chosen a CNBC host as his new economic advisor. If confirmed, Larry Kudlow would replace Gary Cohn as the new director of the White House's National Economic Council. Kudlow's selection would be an interesting one because he's firmly against the president's tariffs on steel and aluminum imports that were finalized just last week.
Storm-weary residents of the Northeast caught in the crosshairs of yet another massive storm, dumping more than a foot of snow in some areas and canceling 1,300 flights across the country. ABC's Linda Lopez has more.
After barely digging out from the last storm, millions in the Northeast braving another nor'easter. Today's storm making for treacherous roadways from New York to Maine. In Boston, a confirmed blizzard hitting the city.
And we appreciate everybody staying home and off the roads as the storm continues. We'd like you to please stay off the roads for the next several hours as whiteout conditions and slippery roads are creating hazardous conditions.
This tractor trailer blocking I-290 in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, one of several tractor trailer accidents on Massachusetts roads. Power lines down throughout the area. The rest of New England under a winter storm warning. Some in the Northeast taking it in stride.
This is New England. This is where we live, so.
But in hard-hit Westchester, New York, some residents are ready for this winter to be done.
Oh, I make more money in the winter than I do doing landscaping all year, but I've had enough. I've had enough.
Well, hopefully folks here in the Northeast are able to brave a little bit more. ABC meteorologists telling us that early next week, a fourth nor'easter may be on the way. Linda Lopez, ABC News, Huntington, New York.
Wow.
Winter just won't leave them.
Yeah,
the Northeast.
That means a lot more people are going to be coming down here too. Obviously for spring break, they're looking. I'm getting a lot more calls from the relatives up north. How's it going down there? You know, you mentioned another snowstorm. This one a little dicey. It's going to get close. We'll show you that on the one of the graphics later in this newscast. But boy, the snow continues to rage on. Here's a look at that latest radar loop showing all that snow piling up in Boston. And boy, that Boston area and also into Maine now. Maine's going to get slammed with maybe up to another foot of snow before it's all said and done. What's happened is that low pressure is over in the Atlantic now, and just that wraparound with that warm, moist air moving over that colder air causing that heavy snowfall. Here's the forecast then as we see it over the Northeast, and you'll see some of those amounts past a foot, almost 2 feet of snow expected in parts of Maine and also into Vermont. So it looks like all that's going to still be a problem, maybe next week too. The KCK webcam, here's quite a contrast, isn't it? Just a nice sunny day out there, although it's cool here, and it's a result of that snowstorm up in the northeast, that front that moved through yesterday, and looks like it caused some much cooler air to move in. 61 degrees right now here at the Sarasota-Braden Airport. It's clear, and the dew point pretty low, 41 degrees. That means it's going to be chilly tonight. Northwest winds at 15 miles an hour, making it feel pretty cold, especially as that sun gets lower in the sky. You're going to see that quite clearly, that temperatures will drop significantly once the sun sets. Now, over the nation, the heavy snowstorm continues to be the big story. Obviously, rain out in the Atlantic. It turns to snow as it wraps around into that colder air. Clear as high pressure moves in across much of the central U.S. And then for us, we're looking at generally fair skies overnight, and that will allow temperatures to drop down into the 40s in places. And it looks as though tomorrow's high temperatures will not be all that warm either. Mid-60s, that's about 10 degrees below average for a low and a high. And we could even see some upper 30s for Thursday morning as a weak frontal system moves through. Temperatures current now, 30s across much of the upper Mississippi Valley and throughout the Great Lakes. It's right at freezing in Cleveland, 30 in Boston, and 45 in the nation's capital. So nothing extreme right now as far as temperatures go. Over the U.S., we're in the 40s and 30s there for highs tomorrow in places like Chicago, Minneapolis. Kansas City really warming up, 63, but it's not over because another storm system is going to move through this region early next week. That's one that will eventually kick out and become another nor'easter. This next one, though, possibly could develop far enough offshore that it may not be as significant a problem, but it's still, the potential is there for another huge one. Now watch us. We'll see the warm temperatures in Texas, the yellows and reds showing up there, but not much for us until we get into Saturday and Sunday. So we'll be back into the mid-70s to upper 70s on Saturday and Sunday, and then a front moves through on Tuesday. And then you'll start to see some cooler temperatures again, trying to settle in. Not much luck, but they'll be there. Temperatures in the low to mid 70s looks like as we get through Wednesday and Thursday on the long range model anyway. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So for boaters tomorrow, looks like this. North winds at 15 knots. So the winds and seas coming down just a little bit. Seas running 2 to 3 feet with a moderate chop out there in the bays and inland waters. And the water temperature now 69 degrees. So we went from the upper 70s just a few weeks ago now into the upper 60s for the water temperature. Mostly fair, breezy and cool tonight. 46 your low at the airport. I mentioned some low temperatures in the inland areas into the low 40s. Mostly sunny, still cool tomorrow. High temperature right around 68 degrees. And north winds 10 to 15. With that north wind continuing, it's going to keep things well below average. That doesn't change either on Thursday, Friday. We start to see a little bit of a warm up there. And then by the weekend, mid to upper 70s. We could even see some 80-degree temperatures. And then we'll keep a chance for showers on Monday. Models are a little confused with the Monday, Tuesday forecast, so we'll keep it at 40%. I think that number will go a little higher, though, as we move through the week and the models get a better handle on the system heading our way. That's that, again, nor'easter developing, which will send another cold front our way. But look at these lows, 40s all the way through Friday morning. But by the weekend, hold on to them. You won't need your jacket or sweaters around. Should be a very pleasant one at that. More on our weather coming up a little bit later. Back to you.
Okay, Bob, thank you. Let's get a check on first alert traffic. We're seeing some backups in both the north and southbound lanes of US 301 in Sarasota. Also, look at Fruitville, slow going both east and west through downtown Sarasota. So slow going as people head home from work. Jacqueline?
Thanks, Scott. In health news tonight, fewer boys are putting on the pads and playing high school tackle football. But why? Since 2008, the number of high school boys participating in football has steadily dropped, almost 5% in a sport that used to add players every year. After all, participation in other high school sports has not dipped, just the sport most publicly linked to brain damage. Team sports and exercise are great for teens in many ways, but football is now seen as a bigger health risk. Researchers say that without more long-term studies, we won't be able to understand if tackle football is a good idea for kids or a public health risk. And until we do, it's clear that some parents are deciding that they want their sons to consider a different sport. Coming up, authorities release harrowing video from a 2012 police chopper crash, and a vintage warplane is about to find new life as a restaurant. More on these stories when we come back.
It's California Closet's lighting and accessories sales event. Save up to $1,000 now through April 30th. Call 1-800-CAL-CLOSETS for your free design consultation or visit us online at californiaclosets.com.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Get to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota for big savings during the spring sales event. Take a test drive and see why Jeep Grand Cherokee is the most awarded SUV of all time. Or for impressive off-road performance with a little bit of Suncoast style, shop the area's largest selection of new 2018 Jeep Wranglers. Stop by today and drive away in a new Jeep Cherokee for just $19,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Florida Studio Theater presents Blue Suede Shoes, celebrating the birth of rock and roll. From the father of rock and roll, Chuck Berry, to the king himself, Elvis Presley, this musical review features such great hits as Rock Around the Clock, Mustang Sally, Johnny B. Good, and of course, Blue Suede Shoes. Critics are calling Blue Suede Shoes a burst of rock history, dynamic and high voltage. Audiences are calling it phenomenal. Blue Suede Shoes has been held over by popular demand. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting floridastudiotheater.org.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
It's California Closet's lighting and accessories sales event. Save up to $1,000 now through April 30th. Call 1-800-CAL-CLOSETS for your free design consultation or visit us online at californiaclosets.com.
Some powerful video just released by authorities shows a terrifying crash between two police helicopters in California.
Jeremy Roth has that story and more in today's Take a Look at This.
Newly released video shows a terrifying collision between two police helicopters. The incident occurred in 2012 in Pasadena, California. The video, released by the NTSB, shows a crew moving a helicopter to the launch pad. Another chopper approaches shortly thereafter, and the two crafts collide. Amazingly, the 6 people involved received only minor injuries. The NTSB says pilot error from both aircraft and poor weather conditions caused the accident. What are we looking at here? Well, according to the private research group To the Stars Academy of Arts and Sciences, it's a 2015 encounter between Navy pilots and a UFO. The group claims the video is authentic Department of Defense footage. The DoD has declined to comment on the release. And now, Dateline Cleveland. This is a Boeing KC-97G Stratofreighter. Introduced in 1951, the military tanker was used to refuel planes in midair. And soon, visitors in Ohio will be able to have dinner in it. Plans are underway to turn the vintage aircraft into a swell new restaurant. It's currently on display as part of a massive auto show at Cleveland's IX Center, which itself was once used to build military aircraft. Mechanics have spent over 800 hours restoring the tanker for its new life as an eatery. They're hoping to have the restaurant ready to go by 2020. Or take a look at this. I'm Jeremy Roth, signing off.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like his old movie time kind of voice there too. That was
Me
good.
too. Still to come on your Suncoast News, the number of manatee deaths in Florida continues to rise. What we can do to help prevent it here on the Suncoast.
And why some bills did not make it through the end of the 2018 state legislative session. That story coming up.
Motor Trend said the new Alfa Romeo Giulia is hands down the best sports sedan you can buy today.
and named it the 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
If you're looking for a rewarding job you'll love, good news. The perfect job is just a click away. Go to mysuncoast.com/job of the day. It's that easy. Stop searching and go to mysuncoast.com/job of the day to find the perfect job for you.
Alex Karras Lincoln's 40th anniversary sale. Drive a brand new 2018 Lincoln MKC for $279 per month or the Lincoln MKZ for $299 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, where our mission statement is consistent commitment. Every client, every time. Located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch ABC7 wherever you are, on our live stream, on mysuncoast.com, on the ABC7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, dining with recipes, and My Suncoast Restaurant Guide. Visit mysuncoast.com. Click on the Apps tab to download the ABC7 My Suncoast app for Apple and Android.
My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
When evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. We agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.